You got a lead in and then you have a question. The lead in kind of biases the people.
We can take out that first sentence altogether. You don't really need it.
The vibrant art.
Right.
Well, I don't think the second one, public art, sculptures, et cetera, have been found to be beneficial to communities, culture, economically, and aesthetically.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
How do you feel about art in public places in Jamestown? But then you want to know whether, well, what about that? Just how do you feel about art in public places in Jamestown?
Does that say it to everybody?
Well, yeah, except that when we're talking about the category of historic and cultural resources, we start talking about statues, paintings, and so forth. We actually have a lot more participation and interest in the performing arts now. And it's mentioned in here.
Do you want to ask a question about that?
Well, if we're asking if they support statues and so forth, we should also ask them if they're going to support the performing
I
arts.
guess because we already have a program. We already have a very strong program.
Yeah, I guess what
And it's supported by the town.
I think it's a good question. I like it. How do you feel about art in public places in Jamestown?
But the question begs for me is, what are we talking about? Are we talking about people donating art to the public places? Or are we talking about taxpayers buying art?
I didn't want to define it yet.
She was just talking about it, but if they say yes,
I
I think
you
we
have to
have to.
define it because you're not.
It could take any number of forms, and I don't want to bias it by saying that, because there could be a great public art program that isn't paid for a dime out of the public's pocket. You know, it could be something that people, I mean, it's just a question as do you support it? Do you think it's important to the community? Maybe that's a better way of saying it.
I don't know how you feel about art in public places.
It's
Art in the town hall, you mean? Do you support art in the town hall?
Yeah, except for that.
Except for that.
Anybody? Okay, can I show, who wants to see it taken out? Who wants to see it stay? Who wants to see it stay and change? Okay. That was great.
I think if you just drop the first sentence, you're fine.
Okay. Agreed.
I actually like the first sentence, but I think if you drop it, it's
I don't have a problem with the first sentence, but I would also suggest an alternate is how do you feel about art in public places in Jamestown is your question. If the public art program is a little confusing.
I understand.
As described above.
Okay. I have a question about 28. Are you ready for that, or are you still thinking, Lisa?
No, go ahead. Which
Okay.
question?
Question 28, are you in favor of preserving historic views in Jamestown, including landscapes and buildings? And I said, no, the historic landscape is Shorty, Hill and historic building is the Jamestown Hardware Store. I think this is a really dangerously vague question. I mean, for instance, Beaver Tail Park should be preserved in which era of its history as a historic landscape? Should it be, when it had a lot of trees before 38, or when it had no trees, or when it was sheep farming, or when it, what is a historic landscape is kind of giving me the heebie-jeebies here. It's easier to define a historic building because there's a lot more done with that, but historic landscapes then may end up allowing, for instance, one or two things. Either public policymakers to outlaw certain things that they don't like, or restrict public policymakers from doing something that they might have wanted to do that kind of fell under that, in that question. I mean, for instance, the town's considering a wind turbine at Taylor Point. At some point, if we want to consider another one, it's going to take open space. And a respondent might say, oh, absolutely preserve historic landscapes, and then find that, well, wait a minute, I don't mind a windmill at this particular location or at that particular location, but a policymaker is saying, no, you can't do it because all the opinions said that we have to preserve historic landscapes. I begin to feel like we're getting fettered, to have historic landscapes as an issue.
Well, as I said, there's this purple book that talks about cultural and historical resources. There's also a green book that talks about historic landscapes in Rhode Island and Jamestown.
So it doesn't define them?
It defines them. One being Shorty Hill.
Okay, well, what are some of the others? Is there a long list? I mean, is it a list that we ought
It's
to?
about the same size book as the purple.
No, but I mean, the list of historic landscapes, are there, 5 or are there 30?
It's more than 5.
There's more than 5. There's more than 30.
What does it matter?
Well, it matters. If everybody says, let's by all means preserve all the historic landscapes, and then we find we can't do anything in Jamestown.
How would you like to change this question?
I wonder if we just throw it
Please
out.
help me.
Nancy, all we're asking is the question. We're not saying preserve those damn landscapes. We're saying, would you like to preserve them? Do you think it's important? I mean,
It's such an
so
open-ended question. What are you going to do with the answer?
we're going to have, maybe we have 75% of the people in town say, yeah, the historic landscapes are important to us. And then we need to look at that and decide what to do about it. But I don't think that you don't ask the question because you're afraid of the answer.
Well, what if the town went to Shoreby Hill, Lower Shoreby, and said, we want to buy the green and protect it forever, so you guys don't put up a clubhouse? Or a bocce court, or a tennis court?
Another example would be
Well,
Beavertail Road.
Okay, if they said, no, we're not going to sell it to you because we want to put up a clubhouse.
No, you're thinking too far ahead. Just to Douglas' point, that's what we're asking the question.
I guess I'm kind of thinking, well, what are we doing here?
That's what we're doing. We're just finding out if it's important.
These questions to me relate right back to the very first statement in this questionnaire, which is that consistently the people in this town have said they want to preserve the character of the town. What more preservation is there than to protect the historic structures and the historic landscapes?
Well, the rural nature is what they've talked about. And rural is variable. It's not cast in stone historic. Like Shoreby Hill is pretty much.
I think that's why you have to ask the public, what does that mean? You have to kind of delve into, well, is this important? Is that important? Is this important? Is that important?
Well, then I
would ask the
wonder,
question.
historic landscape is so open-ended, then I would say, do we need to?
I'll try to look for a better definition. I'll try to define it. Would that help?
Okay, yes, it would.
Economic development, this is a long section. And it is now 9:30 and we are about halfway through. A little bit more than halfway through. Let's see if we can get through economic development.
I have one, 32B. He asked a question, but you don't give any place for the answer.
I'm not
Do you
finished that.
support maintaining or getting the generator of revenue?
Right.
Because there's no place to answer.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah,
So I mean, that's,
gotcha, yeah.
33, when you ask about overnight rental rooms, we're talking about legal overnight rental rooms, right? We're not
Yes.
talking about your cousins who come and rent their neighbor's house because they went on vacation in the vineyard.
Correct.
So do we just want to call that hotel and B&B rooms? Publicly, not the 100 listings at the local realtors that say you can rent my house for a week.
I gotcha.
You're not, are you asking that or not asking that?
No, we're not asking.
They're looking for a hotel and B&B.
Yes, correct, yeah.
36, are we missing items A and D there? It says, how do you feel about the following statements? We only have C on ours. Did A and B drop off? Maybe.
so they're much earlier on some of the books.
No.
Yeah, A shows up, I think.
Oh, you were serious.
Yeah, no, yeah. I went there.
Maybe just change it to a whole.
Let me look at that one
A
again.
and B is 32, and then C is 36, and then D and E is 39.
Oh, so it's just that automatic numbering thing.
And then automatic everything again, it's going to happen
Yeah.
when you, in your paragraph number, in that particular section. Bill
So it would be
Gates,
the following statement.
yeah,
Yeah.
Bill Gates, that should give.
Yeah, I don't know. For the life of me, I can't figure it out.